Alright, so the back of your cabinet, you'll need to take off this back door, which will be screwed in place. And then if you look inside, there'll be rails right here on either side. And these, I believe, has little pins down here and here. And if you pull them up, it'll unlock the door here that'll slide up. There might be screws in place, or you'll see there'll be a little pin you'll lift up and it'll free the main board. And then if you go back to the front of the cabinet, you should be able to slide the whole control panel. If you just grab the side of it, it'll slide straight up, and then you can lay it flat the way this one is. But this whole piece will be down in here. So you slide it up and then set it down, and then your control panel will be in place, but it's locked in, and you'll have to come under here. So let me get back a little bit. Again, yours will have the different computer setup here, but if you reach up under here, and I already unlocked this one so you could see, there's these little clips, and when they're closed they'll look like this. So you'll be able to grab this bottom piece here. So when it's locked, what you want to do is pull this up, and then this piece right here will disconnect, and there's one on the other side as well. And they just clip into, on the back of the control panel, there'll be these little pieces here, so that the clip is kind of caught underneath here. So all you're doing is freeing it out, and then once it's free, you'll be able to just slide the control panel open, and then your buttons will be on the other side. So what I'm thinking is, on your button, if you could see this, when you press the button, there's a little, that piece in there comes up and touches the switch. And I think the switch might be, let me show you how to take the switch off. So there's a higher piece on the back of the switch, and then on the other side there's a lower piece. Oh, it's over here. So if you take the switch and you kind of lean it away from the high end, you'll see there's a little hole, and on the button itself there's a little pin that slides into it. So I'm thinking that the button might be like this, so when you try to, it's like if it's dislodged a little bit from the hole, when you try to press it, it won't go. But if it's a little bit closer, it'll go a little bit and then might get stuck. That's the only thing I could think of. But anyway, if you pull the switch off the button itself, there's this little black ring, and if you just unscrew that black ring, the button will come through the front of the control panel. And then when you go to put the switch back on the button, if you line up this lower hole, try to video while I do it here, on that lower pin, and then you slide it over back into place, you'll see it'll just clip in, squeeze it tight, and then it's back in there. And then just make sure that you, when you put the wires back on, you put the ground back, and use this. It makes a difference which one of these you use. You want to make sure you're using the one closer to the ground. Don't put it on this bottom one. Don't put the wire back on. You see how the other switches are, but just do it the same way. That's how that is. So if I could show you on another button, basically what you're going to do is you're going to take this black part that holds the button in place. Once that comes off, the button will slide out. And then what you can do with the button, since you're going to want that button to work, in the 6th spot, if you take it like this, and you see these two pieces here, it's connected to the top of the button. I'm pressing it, and if you could see, I'll try to get it so you can see that they're moving. You can see that they're moving. If you hold the button down and you squeeze these two in, and then push them towards the top of the button, you can put them so that they go through these holes. And then I'm pulling from the other side. if you pull it out, you'll see that see all that dirt stuff that gets. This is, I took an old button out so you could see it, but your button should be brand new. But all that dirt that gets in there, and the top part of the button just has a spring inside it, and you can see that the button gets, you can see, gets all dirty and stuff. But you have a new button, so it shouldn't be doing that. So I don't know why it was sticking. But if you stick that, I think you put Vaseline over here, and if you put the Vaseline there, it's just going to pick up this dirt and eventually just get clogged up again. But anyway, if you want to open it up and see if anything's spilled in there or anything, I don't know. But if there's any dirt got lodged in there, that could be, even if it's just a piece of sand or something got in there. But you can always just take that, clean that out, and then to put it back in, what you want to do is push the spring in and squeeze these two bars in like that. And then I'm just going to feed it in here and line them up. And then if you just push them through, it comes back in place. And that's how you might want to do that to the button before you put it in another spot. But worst case, I can always send you another button. So hopefully that helps. Again, when the control panel's closed, you want to reach underneath, grab these pins, these clips, and what you want to do is just kind of pull this up. That'll release that, and then you can open up the control panel. And then when you're done, make sure you put these clips back in place. You know, close the control panel, reach underneath, reconnect the clips, lift up the control panel, slide it down at the angle. Make sure you line it up through the, I'm going to go to the back of the machine again. When you slide it back in, you see the control panel's up here. You're going to want to make sure you slide it back in between the rails so it'll fit right in here. And then if it was screwed in, screw it back in, or if it's got the pins, put the pins back in place. Otherwise, when you're playing the machine, they'll pop back out. All right.